Tuesday, October 28, 2025. On The Bold and the Beautiful today, Sheila is questioned by Lee, Katie divulges information, and Taylor confides in Deacon. Liam, Hope, and Beth celebrate the engagement in Brooke's house. This is the greatest day ever, according to Beth. Donna and Brooke are ecstatic about Hope's new line at Forrester. The third sister joins Katie in saying that Hope appears to have a bright future. Katie laughs knowingly as Brooke hopes she doesn't put her personal life on hold, as if she's very certain there's no concern about that. Hope calls Brooke home just in time. Katie divulges the information once Donna senses that she knows something. Sheila tells Lee that she is shocked that her license wasn't revoked for her actions. Their lives were only made more chaotic by Luna. All she wants is for her husband to return home, but he must desire to do so. Before Sheila returns to her obsession with her marriage and hopes Taylor may repair it, they marvel at the relationship they now have over their grandchild. Lee attempts to be supportive, but she can't resist bringing up Sheila's death threat against Taylor. "You were just venting, isn't that correct?" Sheila yells that she is no longer that person, indeed Jan, and resumes her obsession. Taylor must stand up for her marriage. Deacon tells Taylor that he can relate to her heartbreak and encourages her to talk to him as they embrace in Taylor's office. Deacon tells Taylor he feels a connection to her after venting about how poorly they've been treated in previous relationships. He wants her to experience a sense of belonging as well. Taylor complains that this is inappropriate, but when Deacon holds her hand and assures her that she can trust him, she grins. "I'm here to support you." Deacon consoles Taylor after she confides in him about the terrible love triangle involving Ridge and Brooke. Taylor complains to the restaurateur about Brooke, wiggling and giggling her way into Ridge's heart while Sheila texts Deacon to return home. Before you know it, they are staring into each other's eyes as she sobs in Deacon's arms. Hope and Liam canoodle, joke about Beth's ambitious wedding plans, and give moving speeches in Brooke's house until Brooke shows up. They keep chatting until Brooke sees the engagement ring, at which point they confirm the good news. When Beth shows up, celebration breaks out. Today on The Bold and the Beautiful, the day began with an air of joyful anticipation at Brooke Logan's home as Hope Logan, Liam Spencer, and their daughter Beth celebrated what could only be described as a long-awaited family reunion made complete with love and commitment. Beth's excitement was palpable as she ran circles around the living room, twirling in a homemade veil fashioned from a bedsheet, and declaring to anyone who would listen that her parents were finally engaged, and that this, by her measure, was the happiest day of her life. Hope could barely contain her smile, tears threatening to spill over as she watched her daughter's unabashed joy, and she turned to Liam, her hands clutching his in a tender grasp, whispering, "You see that, Liam?" She already knows how to celebrate love, how to believe in it better than anyone else. Liam, still holding his mug of coffee untouched as his gaze never left hers, nodded and smiled, replying softly, "Maybe she always knew we'd find our way back. Kids have this innate sense of hope that we adults forget about, and perhaps she never stopped believing, and neither should we." Hope rested her head lightly against his shoulder, taking in the warmth of the room, the sound of her daughter's laughter, and the knowledge that they had somehow, after so many trials, arrived at a moment of rare and pure happiness. "Then perhaps it's time we start believing again too," she murmured, a small laugh escaping her lips. The moment was tender, unguarded, and suffused with a sense of relief that had taken years to reach them. Meanwhile, across town at Forrester Creations, the atmosphere was equally energized, though for a different reason, as the Logan sisters, Brooke, Donna, and Katie, were immersed in the flurry of activity surrounding Hope's new fashion line. Fabrics were strewn across tables, sketches leaned against walls, and Hope herself darted from mannequin to mannequin, adjusting accessories, consulting with models, and evaluating every detail with her usual perfectionist flair. Donna could barely contain her enthusiasm, commenting on how the designs captured not only innovation but the spirit of Hope herself, how her energy and joy seemed to radiate through every stitch and seam. Brooke watched her daughter, pride emanating from every feature of her face, reflecting silently that when Hope's heart was full, her creativity seemed unstoppable. Katie, leaning casually against a table, smirked knowingly at her sisters, prompting Donna to tilt her head suspiciously. "What's that look for, Katie?" she asked. Katie's grin widened. "Let's just say Hope called Brooke home for a reason. You'll see soon enough." Brooke raised an eyebrow, sensing she was about to be told something significant, while Donna's curiosity surged. Katie shrugged, as if to say the truth was too delightful to keep secret for long. At the same time, Lee Finnegan sat with Sheila Carter in the quiet confines of her home, a space usually reserved for calm reflection, now filled with tense conversation. Sheila, uncharacteristically subdued, confessed her disbelief that her professional license had not been revoked in light of the chaos her actions had caused, citing Luna's continuous interference and the subsequent upheaval in their lives as evidence of just how unfairly she had been treated. "I just want my husband back, Lee," Sheila said, her voice tight with longing. "I want Finn to come home, but he has to want to come home." Lee, her expression carefully neutral, observed Sheila, weighing every word, knowing full well the woman in front of her had a history as stormy as any hurricane. "You have to understand, Sheila, that wanting something doesn't erase what's been done," Lee said, her tone measured yet firm. Sheila sighed, shoulders sagging under the weight of her own confession. "I'm not that person anymore," she insisted, though a flicker of doubt betrayed her claim. "Taylor can help me fix this. She's the only one who can advocate for my marriage." Lee's gaze hardened momentarily. "And the threat you made against Taylor? That was just venting." Sheila's temper flared for a moment before she forced it down, her voice steady. "That was another lifetime ago. I'm done with that side of me." Lee gave a small nod, unconvinced yet unwilling to push further, recognizing that beneath Sheila's calm exterior, the familiar fire of chaos still smoldered. Meanwhile, in her office, Taylor Hayes sat reflecting on her complicated history with Ridge, attempting to reconcile the pain and disappointment she had endured with the life she wanted to live moving forward. The door opened, and Deacon Sharp stepped inside, carrying the familiar aura of charm and weariness combined, the kind that had drawn Taylor's attention in the past despite everything. "Hey," he said softly, "you look like someone who could use a friend." Taylor responded with a half-smile. "Or maybe a therapist. But you'll do for now." He chuckled lightly, taking a seat opposite her. "I get it. Heartbreak leaves scars that never truly fade. I've been there more times than I'd like to admit." Taylor's eyes searched his, a mixture of caution and curiosity. "You surprise me, Deacon. For someone with your history, you speak as if you've learned something valuable." Deacon smiled ruefully. "Let's just say I've been in the business of self-improvement lately. Learned the hard way that you can't control the world, only how you handle it." Their conversation grew intimate, exploring wounds both old and recent, as Deacon brushed his hand lightly across hers. "You can trust me, Taylor.